Jessica Eden, and I'll be talking about biodiversity today. This is the immoral leopard. It's the rarest cat in the world, and it's number 2 on the endangered animals list. There are only 40 left in Russia's Far East corner. So why do we care about the endangered species list? We are not on it. We care because all organisms and species rely on each other to survive directly or indirectly. So I feel confident speaking about this issue because I've taken many environmental science classes and I have read many articles on this issue for this speech. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about why biodiversity is important. We're going to talk about some of the things that are threatening biodiversity and what's being done. Biodiversity is under a constant war. So let's go ahead and look at why biodiversity is important. Many people see certain animals or species and think that they have no cause in this world or they bring nothing to the table. Like this jellyfish, we see it on the beach and we see something that's dangerous or has no use to us. But we don't see the role that they play to keep the oceans alive. According to Clark of 1999, a professor of biological science at Florida Institute of Technology, says, every organism, whether or not it has a direct practical use to humans, has a functional role or niche in its habitat or ecosystem. Loss of rare species often result from habitat loss modifications that affect far more than one's rare species. So as we look at different organisms, we see the many services that we get from them for free. With natural biodiversity, we get pollution breakdown, climate stability, nutrient storage, and recycling food, resources, and many social benefits such as tourism, research, and so on. According to globalissue.org of SOV 2014, it says, while there might be survival of the fittest within a given species, each species depends on the services provided by other species to ensure survival. It is a type of cooperation based on mutual survival and is often what a balanced ecosystem refers to. So we have seen a few reasons why biodiversity is important. Let's look at some reasons biodiversity is being threatened. This is the list of the top 10 endangered animals, and as we see, the immoral leopard, as I talked about earlier, is on this list. But some of them can be quite shocking as we look at this. So we see the northern right whale, and that one's being hunted to extinction by humans, and the leatherback sea turtle, which is the largest sea turtle in the ocean, and the Chinese giant salamander is on there also because humans are eating them faster than they can bounce back. As humans, we manipulate nature to provide for us. According to Sellers of 2009, actions to increase food production can lead to reduced water availability for others. As a result of such trade-offs, many services have been degraded. For instance, fisheries, water supply, and protection against natural hazards. So one way we're guilty of taking too many resources is overfishing. According to Coster of 2012, we are losing species as well as the entire ecosystems as a result of overall ecological unity for our oceans are under stress and at risk of collapse. We are at risk for losing vulnerable food sources that depend on social, economical, and dietary reasons. So I believe that overfishing is a good example of a global issue, especially for the biodiversity, because the oceans are being depleted by humans taking too many fish or whatever they're looking for, and it's affecting each continent directly because they're all connected by water. So whenever fishermen are fishing for whatever they're looking for, this diagram represents the fish that they're trying to get, which is the larger fish, and then the fish that happen to hop in their nets, like the bycatch, which is going to waste. Like, they're not using them because they don't need them. So the bigger fish are being caught, going to humans, the smaller ones are going for waste. According to Worm of 2006, we conclude that marine biodiversity loss is increasingly impairing the ocean's capacity to provide food, maintain water quality, and recover from perturbations. So while there are many factors against biodiversity, there are things that are being done to help. This is a diagram of the places with high resource extraction. So that's just showing the places that are taking too many resources from that they should be. And then this one shows the countries that are doing more to help. A major way countries are trying to help preserve their wildlife is by using protected areas. From the Global Change Project of 2014 says creating protected areas where human activity is limited is the best way to prevent deforestation and exploitation of organisms and the resources they need to survive. So we can see on here, the U.S. is only number 4, with Brazil in the first place of number of protected areas. From Moore and Sale of 2011, backing the protected areas up, says a leading strategy in international efforts to reserve ongoing losses in biodiversity is the use of protected areas. So what we can do as a human race is obey hunting laws and keep protected areas safe for these endangered animals and just keep everything safe. So while this may seem overwhelming or may sound like something you don't want to care about, we all need to remember that biodiversity is always in a war. I want you to all remember why it is important, some things that are threatening biodiversity, and what we are doing to help it. So, if you're an ACU student, family or friends, or if you have any interest in the Amur leopard, hopefully this speech has brought some knowledge to you about the global issue known as biodiversity.
Better on time.